Good, we're continuing our series of lectures about manipulating pandas data frames. So you learn how to drop a row or a column out of a data frame in the previous lecture. Now let's see how we can add a column or a row to a data frame. So we have df7 here with address as index column and this series of column labels. Now just to clarify something, I know this is difficult to wrap up in your mind how you'll be using these operations in real life. So I just want you to know the syntax of doing these operations. And throughout the course, you'll learn how to actually put this into work with real life examples. So don't worry about that. And yeah, let's add a column there. To do that, you'd want to say df and in square brackets, you pass the name of the new column. Let's say continent. That would be equal to, now you would have to pass a list of values that you want to populate that column with. Let's say North America. Now if you execute that, you'll get an error. Name df is not defined. Actually, I didn't mean this error. This was another thing. You'll get this error. So it says that the length of values does not match the length of index. So the length of index is, length of index is df7.index. The length of your index is 5, but you're trying to pass their list with a length of 1. So you've got only one element there. So the solution here is to pass a list with the exact number of items that you have in your table, in your data frame. So we have 5 rows there, 5. And yeah, you could add 4 more items here, North America, etc. Or you can do some fancy things in there. So you could say df7 shape, then 0 times that. Execute. df7, print that out. And here we have a new column. So if you're confused with this shape, 0 times North America, what I did is, df7.shape, what you get is 5, 7, which means you have 5 rows and 7 columns. Now what I wanted to get is the first item of that tuple, so I get 5 by doing shape 0. With this I always make sure that I'm getting the number of the rows that my data frame has. And then when you multiply 5 by a list with 1 element, you get a list with 5 elements. America. That's the idea. Delete that. And note that this is actually an in-place operation. So that will update your data frame. And now that was about adding a new column, and how about modifying a new column? So modifying the continent column. That could be something like country, and you can also add some strings in there. Let's say plus a comma, plus maybe another string, North America. Execute that, print out the data frame, and yeah, see what we got. So what we did here is we updated the continent column by referring to an existing column, which was country, and then for each value of the country column, we concatenated the comma string, which you can see in here just after USA, and we also added another string, so North America. And this could also be another column if you liked. So if you passed here, let's say employees, you'd get 8 instead of the first North America, and then 15 and so on. So that's how you update a column. Now, how about adding a new row? Well, this can be a bit tricky, but still understandable. What you could do here, because there's no easy method to pass a row to a data frame, what you could do is you could say df7t, so I'm creating a new variable, that would be equal to df7.t. So t actually is a method that what it does, it transposes your data frame. And with transposition, I mean, df7, if you check your new data frame, what you get is this. So your rows have become columns, and your columns have become rows. So spend a few seconds looking at this. Yeah. And what we can do now is, we can use the same syntax, df7 t, and then add a new column in there. So for the name of a column, you'll have to pass an address. Well, let's say my address. Now that would be equal again to a list. And you want the list to reflect this order. So city first, let's say my city, country, my country, and 10 for employees, and 7 for ID, my shop for the shop name, my state, and my continent. Execute that, and df7t. If you look at this now, you'll see that you get a new column in your data frame. And now what you do so to complete the trick is, let me say df7 equals to df7 underscore t dot t. So df7 now will have the new row added at the end. So let me wrap this up. Again, what I did is I transposed the original data frame, df7, and then I added a column there. And now if I transpose the data frame back again to its original position, this column that I added will be converted to a row. And that does the trick. And similarly, you can modify a row if you like. So in that case, you don't point to my address, but you'd point to an existing column with an existing address name. For instance, this one, if I pass it here, and execute that, and that, and you'll see that the values of this row with this address name have been updated now, as you can see in here. And that closes this lecture as well. And yeah, I'll see you later.